haven't made a YouTube video in a while, you know and I know that the world is full of shit, right? The good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. But with my YouTube videos, I just want to make the world a better place. So this video we're going to talk to my friend Zoe again, because unfortunately she has another health condition, and it is called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a group of conditions that cause very flexible joints and stretchy and fragile skin. And personally, I know a few people who have this condition up in Wales, and it's obviously been around for a very long time, but it's like a new thing, and they know more about it now. So I think it's quite important to talk about it. So let's go talk about that.
Do it.
Talk about it.
Right. Should I start with like my symptoms?
Oh yeah, so your symptoms, or how did you like
It was the symptoms that, I think it was, yeah, probably the symptoms that brought my attention to the fact that I knew there wasn't like something quite right, but everything was kind of separated.
What was your symptoms?
So my worst symptoms was, they called it all different, like all my symptoms were put into brackets that were like, they appeared separate but weren't separate.
Yeah.
Which I've now learned. So I had really bad chest pain. I get really bad chest pain, and they call it costochondritis.
Okay.
And it's inflammation of the chest wall.
Yeah.
And I would literally just be doing like the most normalest things. Like I remember leaning over my bed to write out a birthday card, and then I had like a shooting pain up my chest. And then that was that. It was
scary.
Like that, yeah. Okay. And now every time I sneeze, I get a jolt in my chest. And it's since I've gotten older, the pain is getting worse. Okay. So then I can always remember about 10 years ago walking around London with my friends, and then I came back and I got lower back pain, and that was the first time ever in my life I'd ever experienced like back pain. Yeah. And then like it would go, and then it would reoccur, like I'd do something stupid, well, not something stupid, but something simple like putting on a pair of jeans, yeah. And then I'd seize my back up, and then I was getting told, oh, it's sciatica.
No, they just changed it to something else.
Yeah. And then little things would happen, like I rode my ankle once just walking across the grass, and then that was all really bruised, and I had to have that x-rayed, and it was like a really bad sprain. And then since then my foot has, like my ankle's never been the same since. It always just feels like it's gonna like give out on me.
Is there anything that can help it?
I have a ankle, yeah, I seem to be like having support things now for everything, like a support for my ankle.
Yeah.
But
your support for your hands, or no?
So
I see you doing all this stuff, and I was
yeah, maybe you need some support, but maybe don't do that. Yeah, so I've got like ankle support now. You know, yeah, lots of paracetamol and coca-cola. Oh, and then because I've got FND and I have seizures. A seizure that I had back last year made me realise that my ribs could sublux. So basically it's not like a broken or fractured rib, but the ribs just pop out and pop in again.
Wow.
And then I can feel it after.
That's
and I can, if I wanted to, but I don't. I can move my own ribs, and I can feel my ribs, like if I press myself.
Yeah, so it's a lot.
I can feel it like clicking. And yeah, I think definitely since I've gotten older, I've been in more pain, and they diagnosed me recently. Oh, it was because it's called it's a score, a hypermobility score. I think it's called, you'll have to look up the terminology for it. I think it's called a BATE score. Okay. Baton score, that's what it's called. And you can score out of 9 for hypermobility. And there was one, I scored 8 out of 9. Yeah. And I feel like the only reason I didn't get the full 9 out of 9 is because there was one where you had to put your feet flat on the floor. Okay. And I couldn't do it because of my cerebral palsy.
But you've never been able to do it.
But I've never been able to do that.
My entire life, so that's just a Zoe thing.
But I can do all these funky things.
What would you say to anyone who has it, or what would you say to anyone who's got it? Like,
I would say when you know you have a symptom, keep like saying
to the doctors,
that you have the symptom, because I mean, I say it hard because I couldn't have not said that I had it because it was
just so
it
obvious.
was so painful and it was
I kind of knew as soon as you told me. I was like, not in a horrible way. I was a bit like, yeah.
But I feel like it's nice to have. So say if I had like sort of 5-6 different elements.
Yes.
I feel like it's nice to have them put into one condition. So it sort of I was getting unexplained bruising and I didn't know why. And I can always remember going to the doctors, and because like up to the point I was going to the doctors, I had been doing my blood pressure for something unrelated, and I've been doing that every day, and they were trying to say that the big bruise that I had on my arm was because I was overdoing it with the blood pressure machine. And I was thinking, well, no one would be able to do it to like cause that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just having all those answers for everything.
And know where you're at.
Yeah, and like when I get tachycardia and my oxygen level drops, and they've said that is POTS.
Yeah.
And then again, POTS comes in with
Quite
the
complicated.
EDS. And mast cell activation. I've always suffered with like different allergies, what they called oral allergy syndrome. So again, that's put that diagnosis in
It's
a
an umbrella.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so
So
that's
it's
like
like
saying it?
EDS, and it's all like different umbrellas. But it is nice to like tidy them away.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say, like any positive words or any positive things to anyone who has it? Or
Yeah, I
what to do
think just
next?
because you can do these things doesn't mean you should.
Is that what you say? Because you were doing shit in the mirror with me. I was like, ah!
Just because you can, you
Doesn't
probably
mean you
shouldn't.
should do it.
No.
Okay.
Yay!
It's Sully.
Sully.
That sounds
Oh,
creepy, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, we're going to sleep
sleep
after that.
How are we going to sleep after that?
You know
one?
what I can do? I watched it on a video. I don't know if everybody can do it. You can try it now. So if I hold my arms like that,
Yeah.
right, and then if I go, hang on, did she do it like that? It was like that. And then my arm gets bigger,
Yeah, it does. What the fuck?
and then it's like, but I don't know. Can you do that? You do.
No,
all you do
I
is
can't
you go.
do that. Zoe, that isn't normal. That's like, I don't know. You're like in a
I can do it.
No. Oh.
That is a bit weird, isn't it? I'm like, if I like, I don't know.